Next up, Middle Tennessee head coach Rick Stockstill with sophomore wide receiver Jaylin Lane and redshirt senior defensive end Jordan Ferguson. Coach, start us with a brief opening statement, and then we'll go to questions for you and your student athletes.
Good deal. Appreciate everybody being here. Exciting time for us and for every college program in the country as we get ready to get started. We report next Tuesday and start practice Wednesday. So I like where we're at. We've had a great spring, a great summer. Built a lot of confidence and momentum after the Bahamas Bowl win in December last year. I like our team. I like the leadership of our team. So I'm excited to get started.
Again, raise your hand for questions, and for folks on Zoom, make sure you use your raise your hand function. We'll get questions here started in the room. We'll start with Jerry here.
Coach, all season, guys on their own, what did you see from afar that they were after the bowl game win? Now the next season is coming up. What have you seen just out of the guys working out on their own?
Yes, sir. Really, they haven't had a whole lot of time to work out on their own. Since they got back in January, we started winter workouts, and, so those went really well leading into spring practice. Spring practice was a little different for us this past year because we had 16 guys that did not go through spring practice because of off-season surgeries that they had. So spring was a little different, and then but it was very productive. I was proud of what we got accomplished and how they worked, how they competed. And then, basically they had May off and
recording in progress.
And did a good job there. And then we started back the 1st of June, our workouts. And again, like I said, it's a very mature group. We got great leadership on both sides of the ball. And it's led up to now they got 4 or 5 days off before we report next week. So it's a very mature group. I like the leadership of it. I like their mental focus and mental toughness right now, how they push through this summer.
And a follow-up, Jaylin is one of the leaders, and Jordan is one of the leaders. All season, how did y'all work out together? What was it like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, this offseason we had a lot of, player-led practices, and, it was great to see, guys step up, take charge, and we got a lot of good work in with no coaches out there, so I see a lot of focus in this team this year.
To piggyback off what Jaylin said, yeah, we had a lot of practices with ourselves and stuff, and it's good to get guys when the coaches are not with each other to practice like we're with the coaches, and we work out on the weekends as well, do our little drill work or throw and catch or pass rush together and just build that camaraderie with each other and just build a new chemistry. So I'm excited.
Stephen Harms with AP, good seeing you again.
Yes, sir.
Conference USA is obviously going through a little bit of a transition. Obviously, 3 teams that aren't here were expected. There's going to be teams going out. You're still going to be here. How do you, as a coach, look at all that when you're having so much going around you that's changing?
To me, I go back to what you tell the players. Control what you can control, and you control how you play, how you prepare, how you work. I've got no control over who leaves, who comes in this conference. So I leave that to the outside, and I just focus on our team and what we can do to get better and compete at a high level.
What are your thoughts about the future of Conference USA? Obviously, you're going to be a part of it moving forward.
Right.
What are your thoughts on?
I think we're in a good place. Obviously when these, whatever it is, 6 other teams leave to go to the AAC and we bring in, 3 more. My personal opinion is I don't think it's done yet. I think there'll be more teams coming. I think if you look at it geographically throughout the country, I think there's going to be a lot of movement still within the conferences. So, but I think we're in a great position. We're in an attractive geographical location in the South, and so I'm excited about the future of Conference USA.
One last thing, you open in Michigan, obviously. You guys play a Power 5 team every once in a while, or you try to.
More than every once in a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, but once a year. When you look at what's going on with the bigger conferences, major conferences, do you get concerned that those kind of games might become harder to come by because of what's happening in Power 5?
No, I don't, because my understanding of it is, and each conference is going to be different, but they still want to play. I haven't seen anybody say they're going to play 12 conference games. It's all, 8 to 9 conference games. So there's 4 slots available that, we can still have the opportunity to play, those Power 5 schools.
How important are those games for your school?
I think, the obvious reason is financially it's a good payday, but it's also, I look at it, and the players, you'd have to ask them, but I think they look at it the same way I do. It's a challenge to play against the so-called best players. Are they? I don't know. To me, they're no different than Jaylin and Jordan. But perception-wise, everybody thinks if you're at this school, then you're better than if you're at that school. And so we look at it as a challenge, as an opportunity to go out and prove ourselves that, we can compete, against the so-called best players.
Coach Stockstill, Eric Henry, SB Nation. Just want to ask you a question that's been a challenge for you over the past few years. That's running back, the running game from the running backs. Just talk about, is that still a point of emphasis for you, obviously, in the shift in offense, and how can you kind of generate more production again from the running game from the backs and not just the quarterbacks?
Yeah, we've been very inconsistent the last couple years in the running game, and we've got to be a better running team. We've got to get better production. And a lot of that has to do with not just the running backs. I mean, it's everybody involved. And but I feel really good about our running backs right now, our running situation. I like our offensive line. We lost a lot of guys there, but the guys coming back and the new guys that we've got coming in, I think are going to be able to enhance that. So we've got to be better. We've got to be more consistent. But at the same time, you're not going to force the running game. You're not going to force the passing game. You're going to do whatever it takes to win the game, and that's the most important thing to me, is just win. So, but we've got. Hopefully, we'll be able to run the ball better this year than what we have the last couple years.
Let's get some questions for our student athletes. We got 2 over there.
Joe Lonergan from SB Nation. Question for Jaylin. A couple different publications have you tabbed as a preseason All-American. Just curious how you're dealing with those expectations.
I try not to look too far ahead. I'm just focused on building team camaraderie, like Jordan said, and I just focus on being better than I was last year. The accolades and stuff that come as they come, but I'm just trying to win ball games.
Right next to you. Yep.
Jordan, Zachary Lowe, Middle Tennessee News. Jordan, last year the defense really stepped up and created a lot of offense for the offense. What is the next step?
Next step is, we lost a lot of guys. I think we got to piggyback off last year, and we had a lot of guys who worked really hard. Reed Blankenship, DQ Thomas, that we used to look up to, myself as well. But I think we got to show the other guys how we do things, and it starts with the player-led practices. So we kind of know what to look forward to, and it's high expectations from last year, so we're excited to get going.
Sam Davin, Jordan, the defensive line is the one area of the defense that hasn't turned over a lot compared to the other positions. How have y'all as a unit responded to taking on that leadership role in the whole defense this year?
It's just great. We get coached by Coach West, one of the best in the business, and it's just good. We don't have many new faces where we have to teach a lot. We got upper division learning, as Coach West would say. We're just trying to get better at everything we do, whether it's stunts, run fits, and two-gap and everything. And we're going to be the motor for the defensive line and for the defense, so we can't wait.
Got one for Jordan and one for Jaylin. I'll start with Jordan first. You started a nonprofit. What can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I came back, and my mom's birthday's on Christmas, and I kind of wanted to do something because I had a lot of men in my life to help me get to this point and help me grow and mature. And I wanted to do stuff for people's always in a worse situation than I am, and I just wanted to help out some people who are homeless people, or they want food, whatever they need. It might be a homeless shelter where women and children can do things financially. Maybe they need cosmetics or some diapers or whatever. Whatever I can do to help, I just want to do. So that's my motive right there.
Question for Jaylin. Jaylin, you also had kind of a breakout year last year. Can you tell me, at first part of the question, what you learned from some of the veteran guys like Jaron Pierce and Jimmy Marshall, and then the second part of the question is the receiving room this year with guys like DJ and Chisholm and yourself?
JP and Jimmy and CJ, since day one in 2020, they've just kind of took me under their wing. So I'm very grateful for them. And, they always told me, like, you're going to be a great player. They could see it in me. And they just always say, stay down, be humble. So I got to thank them for that. And, a lot of guys coming back, they said DJ and Isaiah, those guys coming back. Yusuf got a lot of experience. I'm excited about our receiver room this year.
Matthew Bartlett with the Roost. For Jaylin and for Coach, talk about Malik Cunningham at quarterback. What makes him special, and how big is it going to be having him back in the offense this fall?
Chase Cunningham.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Malik, you got. My brain was racking. You want to go?
Oh, yeah, I go. Chase, he stepped up last year. It was heartbreaking he got hurt, but he's a guy with a high motor, so he's gonna work, get back, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do for us this year.
Yeah, Chase is a good. First, he's a good, great young man. He's a great team player. He cares about the team more than he cares about himself. And he's a really good leader for us. He's healthy now, and we'll have a good competition there at quarterback with him and Nick. Nick finished out the year and the last 4 games when Chase got hurt, and did a nice job and got better and had a really good spring. So with Chase and Nick there at quarterback, I feel good about our situation there.
So no starter Nick yet?
No, I mean, I don't need to. I mean, we got plenty of time for that. And, Chase hadn't done anything since November when he had surgery, so he's been out there, working out and all that. But till you get out there on the field and do it, you got to make sure he's healthy. And, I got a lot of confidence in Chase. I got a lot of confidence in Nick.
All right down the end.
Question and quick follow-up for Jordan. This is a league that's pretty deep in pass rushers. 7 of the other ones are here today. I'm curious what your thoughts are on, just kind of standing out amongst the crowd here.
Yeah, of course you want to be the best in the conference, but you know what I'm saying, like you said about the accolades earlier, man. If you always look at somebody else's stats and worry about what somebody else is doing, you get lost in yourself, and you know what I'm saying, you might be miserable doing so. So I just try to go to work with my guys, and we all on one page, and you know what I'm saying, we all hunt together. So if he does his job and I do my job, we all can eat together. So I just try to focus on us and just take it from there, go from there.
And did you say you were doing karate a second ago?
Not
Is that what you said?
No, not karate.
Oh, never mind.
We box a little bit, but we don't do no karate. No, we don't do no karate.
We got time for another question or two before we close it out. Right there next to you, and then we'll come to you. Yep.
For Jordan, last year the defense was second in Conference USA interceptions. How much is that from the defensive line?
I mean, we all work together, we get pass rush the quarterback and make them hurry the ball, get the ball out. And DB's got, 2 to 3, 4 seconds to cover, and we get there, whether we get there or not, and throw the ball up, make a bad ball, and they make a play on the ball. So we all work together. We don't have pass rush. They're going to have to cover all day, and it's going to be hard for them to get picks like that.
Coach Stockstill, I know you've reshuffled your staff responsibilities around a lot this year. Probably perhaps most nobody's your new offensive coordinator, Mitch Stewart, doesn't have a position group that he's officially in charge of. How have you seen the offense respond to sort of that change through the spring and into the summer?
I think it's been really good. Like I said earlier, back in January when I did make the changes, that in studying what the NFL does and how they structure their staffs, is why I did it. We had a change at offensive coordinator, and Mitch Stewart has come in and has done a really, really nice job, and giving him the opportunity, I guess, so to speak, that he can be more involved during the course of a practice of going to the receivers, going to the running backs, going to the offensive line, moving around a little bit, give him some freedom to see everything and how it's done, and then moving Brent from receivers to quarterbacks. He's played the position, so his relationship and his knowledge there has been good. And then brought in Shane Tucker, who is a former player. He's a former running back, wide receiver for us. He's coaching the receivers and did a really nice job. And I got a lot of confidence in Shane, and what he's done and what he will continue to do. So offensively, I like our makeup with Brent, is an excellent coach. Shane's an excellent coach, and Mitch is an excellent coach. It'll have a little bit of freedom to move around. And then had 2 defensive line coaches and Coach West and Tommy West and Dustin Royston. And when our linebacker coach left in January or December, I moved Dustin Royston to linebacker, and Tommy's got the defensive line. So I like the makeup of our staff. They work extremely hard. They have a great relationship with their players, and to me that's as important as anything.
All right, I think that'll close us out for now. Coach, Jaylin, Jordan, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.